It is happy to see you. Actually, first time we are face to face. We are meeting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So, dear participant, good morning again, and I am very happy and feel privileged to introduce the second speaker, eminent speaker of today program, Professor Sandeep Maurya ji. Professor Sandeep Maurya is a professor in Department of Psychology, BHU, Banaras University, one of the biggest university of the country. And today, sir is going to talk about the emotional intelligence. The topic itself, it is very important role of emotional intelligence in managing the diversity. See, India is a country. There is a lot of diversity. Each state we have a different type of the society, culture, and all. And through the emotions, how we are going to combine in one frame. Welcome you, sir, in the FIP program organized by HRDC Mizoram University, and we feel very happy to you accepted our invitation and ready to share your rich experience with our participant. With this brief introduction, I welcome you and handing over the session to you for your lecture, sir.
Thank you, sir. I hope the participants are well versed with English and Hindi, or only English.
Sir, English. Majority of them are English because Northeast, the language problems are there. So more than
Okay.
50-60% participant are from Northeast, means Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, like these states. So some word you can use in middle, but majority of them, especially the
Okay,
Mizoram
no
and
issue. No
Manipur
issue. I
students.
just wanted to know about the audience.
And
So,
one thing also, all the audience, they are in webinar mode.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
They will interact. Last lecture also, they are putting their doubt and question in the Q&A box. And the last of the lecture, I read, you can see, and we will have discussion on that.
अतुल हमने वो बना एक So as we know, India is full of diversity. If you move from Leh Ladakh to Kanyakumari and this side from Gujarat to Northeast, so we are a diverse country. So many a times we face different issues because of the diversity. Even many a times we are very proud that we are able to manage that diversity in our country. So just I wanted to know the know from audience, uh, uh, those who want to speak, please uh, let me know about understanding of this diversity and emotional intelligence. So, do you have some information how diversity is important for us, or how what do you understand by diversity and what do you understand by emotional intelligence? Any idea? Participants, please unmute yourself, those who want to speak one by
Sir,
one.
sir,
Uh,
as I inform you, all they are in webinar mode. They cannot interact by talking. They will interact only by the message.
Okay, okay, okay. So the participants are requested to write
In the
their
chat box.
understanding in the chat box.
Yeah, yeah. The chat box you open, they are replying in that chat box.
I have opened.
Yeah, yeah.
So please write your understanding regarding emotional intelligence and uh, yes, yes. One of the participants, Priyanka Kalita, has written that diversity implies variety. Yeah, you're very right. So even variety of people residing in a place belonging to a different culture, different religion, different caste, different color. Very true. Then we have some information like emotional intelligence is ability to control and manage our emotions as well as of others. Very good. I think we got some information. Emotional intelligence is assessing emotions. Heart. Very good. So I think there is understanding regarding this. But many a times we find that there are certain issues regarding uh, the diversity or due to diversity. What problems we face because of the diversity? Any idea regarding the problems which we face?
Sir, I think you are muted, sir. Your voice is not coming. Please unmute.
Sorry, sorry, sorry. So once understanding of this emotional intelligence as well as diversity is very important. And I would cite one of the examples from my own life when I was visiting Zurich for one of the conferences. So when I passed through one of the gates at the airport, I forgot my cap at what point of time. So one of the white person, or you can say English person, say just he stopped me and he told me that you are forgetting your cap. So so what happens in our culture? Usually we don't have the usually now people have started saying thank you and all because of the English education or because of the convent education they are getting in our country. So I was basically uh, my schooling was basically in Hindi medium, and that kind of exposure we didn't had in our schools and even in college also. So what I did, I just took my cap and started walking from that place to uh, towards the gate. Then that English person again stopped me and said, "Ki, Mister." So then I thought, "Ki, I perhaps something wrong has gone." Then he called and then he said, "You should say thank you." And I thought, I think so. I have committed some mistake because of the cultural issues. So it is very common in other cultures that if you get any help from others, that you have to say thank you to even your mother, father, and all. So just because of that incident, I just responded that so so I'm sorry. I'm very thankful for your help. Just I said thank you, and then he smiled, and I started from there. So see, the awareness of culture is very important. When you are aware about the cultures, then another thing which basically is very important in terms of the uh, cultural interactions, we also need to know the reason behind a person interacting in a particular way. So there are certain reasons because of which we differ from person to person. So maybe people who are from a psychology background may be knowing the reasons behind the uh, uh, difference in the behavior. Even different people behave differently in the same situation. So what are the reasons? I want to know from the participants. What are the reasons? I have PPT I will share, but before that, I want to just prepare a ground so that you can interact. So why people behave differently, or even people of different cultures behave differently? What are the reasons? Any idea? You can write in your chat box. Why people behave differently? What are the reasons? One reason, for example, I can give you a hint. One is a biological reason because of the genetic codes which we get from our participants. Yes, one is temperament. There are two broad biological reasons. Yeah, biological reasons, and socio-cultural reasons. Yeah, or psychosocial reasons. One is upbringing or the environment of upbringing. Usually we call it socialization. Okay. So environmental reasons is one, psychosocial reason. So biological reasons and psychosocial reasons usually we divide into parts. Biological reason is like we inherit some traits from our parents and ancestors. Psychosocial reason, because of our upbringing, as some of you said, that because of our upbringing, and uh, even in the same circumstances, you can find people who uh, the two people may behave differently, because one of them is having a very hardy personality, he is not being affected by that particular situation, and one of them is very cool. Even they have a temperament, or they have a very uh, such kind of temperament in which they are they are more prone to be irritated. So they are irritated in that environment, and some people who have a very hardy personality, they don't get irritated because of that situation. So because of these personal differences, you can find even there was an incident in my hostel, and that was only because of the diversity issue. And the issue was like one boy in the hostel came one day and said, "Sir, please ask that boy to behave in a proper way, otherwise I will beat him." Then I asked, "What? Why you think that you uh, should beat him, and why you feel that uh, uh, you feel like beating?" Then he said, "Ki, sir, I belong to a village, and in that village, when we go out, in uh, usually people respect us, and this boy comes to me, and he walks uh, in front of me, and he said that it's like this." So it took long to make him convinced that because of his body makeup, he's a very fat boy, and there are certain muscles, and muscles are there, and because of that most muscles, he has to walk like this, not like that. So anyhow, he was convinced that, but the reason was the socio-cultural reason. Because of the socio-cultural reason, he could not accept the behavior of one of his fellow hostel mates. So such things happen. Something you feel bad because of the things which were not acceptable in your society, usually where you live, and because of that, problems arise. So many times such situations occur, and we are not able to control such situations. So in those cases, problems arise a lot, and we had to take measures. Even many times we have to do counseling also for such students who are uh, not able to manage their emotions when they are in such situations. So many times we have to manage such kind of things, so that even as a teachers we have to manage such things, because we have a responsibility to nurture our students so that they are able to have I think there is a concept of cross-cultural competence. So nowadays, cross-cultural competence is very much important, and this, if we have, if we are emotionally intelligent, uh, we have the ability to be inclusive. It means we have more acceptance when we are more aware about the other cultures. So if we are more aware about other cultures, we are able to uh, accept other. There is more acceptance when we are aware about other cultures. So there are many reasons because of which this uh, emotional intelligence or ability to control our emotions become more important when we are interacting with people from different cultures. So when we are interacting with people from different cultures, so we have to be more emotionally intelligent. Even there are certain studies which tell us that people were not able to perform better in administration because they were low on emotional intelligence. So because of that, they could not manage their own emotions, and even many a times they could not manage the crowd, or they could not manage the people who were working under them. So when you are not able to manage people who are working under you, many times you fail in administration also. So from that point of time, the emotional intelligence became more important, especially for uh, the people who are in administration, people who are in leadership positions, and when you are working with the people from different backgrounds. So when you are working with the people from different backgrounds, you are bound to have uh, social skills. So the social skills are also important when you interact with people from different cultures. Even you need to know that people from uh, different societies, even they need to, even the interpersonal relations become more important. So when you interact with the people from different cultures or different societies, so it becomes more important for you to uh, interact in such a way that the people who are interacting with you are comfortable when you are interacting with them. So it, and for that, interpersonal relations is very much important. So when you interact with people, the social skills become more important. So you have the ability to communicate, you have ability to resolve the conflict, you have ability to even make teams when you are working with the different uh, people. Even you can find some reasons. Even as a researcher, you perform better when you have a team. So many times you need to manage a team also, and even basic interaction is very much important. So these are certain examples which uh, even clarifies that we need to understand the concept of emotional intelligence, so that we are in a better position to uh, manage our relations, especially when we are interacting with the people of different people coming from different backgrounds or different cultures. So in that way, it helps us to even the ability to have manage emotions, ability to make relations with others, even uh, so that should also be even we have the new education policy which also talks about the skills related to, and even if you are a emotionally intelligent person, so you will have the ability. So nowadays uh, this importance is given to the skill part of also. So even whatever subject you are teaching or you are learning, the skill becomes more important. So whatever subject you are studying, you need to use that, so that you are able to manage the relations with others. So that is why uh, the concept of emotional intelligence becomes more important when we are, yes, we are in a position to deal with the people, or many times we need to do it. So, so due to these reasons, uh, this emotional intelligence become more important. So I would share uh, slide which I have prepared for this session with you people. Just share screen. So I'm sharing my screen so that many a times it happens that you're not able to see because your slide don't change.
So it is visible, sir. If it is visible.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to first slide. So many times we need to work with the people of different backgrounds. Even I think Manoj ji is also working in a situation where he has to manage the diversity also. Okay, you are working in a different culture, and in that case, you need to know the culture of people where you are working. Okay, so role of emotional intelligence in managing diversity. Even in this picture, you can see people from different backgrounds who are there, and even they are. Uh, so when we interact with the people of different cultures, what happens? It becomes important to understand people. Why? Because maybe the people are from different race, people are from different religion, people are from different cultural backgrounds, and many a times because of those backgrounds, you need to be very cautious while using certain words or even talking to them in a specific manner. So in that way, uh, emotional intelligence ultimately helps us. Even the Jimmy Carter, one of the president of US, uh, have shed some light on this concept. Like we have become not a melting pot, but uh, a beautiful mosaic. Because you can say in the US, even people from different nationalities and with different cultures, they have come and they are trying to make a country which is a beautiful country and even full of diversity. So different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams they have. So that makes them uh, a country which is full of diversity. So that is why, and even they are able to manage them by providing different facilities to people from different backgrounds. Even in our country also, we, because of many differences, because of the rituals, because of the uh, caste, creed, and many things we have to manage. So let us start with diversity. What is diversity? Diversity is all about what makes each of us unique. So even each and every person are different. Okay, and the reason behind that difference is basically two. One is the biological makeup, and one is the learnings which we get from the different socio-cultural backgrounds, like the way we are uh, nurtured in our particular society, the way we are uh, reared by our parents, the love and care which we get from our parents and the people of our society, that makes us different. Even many times we have some positive interactions, many a times we have some negative interactions. So diversity is all about which makes us unique, and maybe because of our background, personality, the experiences, positive and negative experiences, which I was talking about, and the beliefs, all of things that makes us who we are. So even our personality makes us different. There are individual differences, and I think the very base of psychology in which discipline I am working is the individual differences. And these individual differences are because of the two reasons, as I said, that biological reasons, the inheritance of the traits, and one is the socio-cultural reasons, the socialization which through which we grow through. So diversity is basically a combination of our differences that shape our view of the world. So the way we see world. So even we see world in a different way because of our socialization. So our perspective and our approach. Even there is a saying in Hindi, maybe the kind of spectacles you wear, you see the word like that. So हिंदी में कहावत है कि सावन के अंधे को सब हरा ही नजर आता है. So in the month of July and August, you can see greenery all around. So that kind of thing is there. So because of that, spectacles which we wear, and that is because of the socialization, the way we are socialized, the positive and negative experiences which we have because of our experiences in a particular society where we are brought up. Another reason, like the range of human differences that I was talking about. What are they? Like the human differences represents like we have the gender, and because of the gender, we are treated differently. Because of the socio-economic background we have, because of the upbringing, as we are talking about the socialization process, which takes place in our particular society, and even it is different in different societies. Even if you are from a different religion, there are different religious practices, and because of those religious practices, we differ from each other. Even the educational background that we have, so the level of education we have gone through, that also makes us different, because of if you are more educated, there is a probability, I can't say sure, because many times people who are educated, they are also prejudiced, and they are stereotypical, involved in some stereotypical behaviors. So even then, there are many people who have broad minds. They have these educations make their view uh, to look over the horizon in a broad-minded set. Even people from the sexual orientations we have, like nowadays we are talking about the LGBTQ society. So people may have different sexual orientations. Even we have the gender identity. You have seen many people who have changed their genders from man to woman and woman to men also. So such kind of things are also there. How you identify yourself as a man or woman. Even your ethnic backgrounds from where you belong, that also there is a concept of neurodiversity. So neurodiversity is basically the makeup in our brain, your neuronal diversity. We have different kind of brains, and our brains are different because of the experiences which we have. There is a concept of neuroplasticity. Any one of you do have this information? What is the concept of neuroplasticity? Any one of you? Can you please unmute, or okay, you are not able to unmute. Can you write in the chat box what do you understand by neuroplasticity? Any idea regarding neuroplasticity? You may write in the chat box. What is neuroplasticity? Any idea? Okay, one is like ability to memorize more things by neurons. Okay. Anyone else? So Shreya has rightly said that when we are exposed to different situations, our brain has an ability to expand itself, and as expansion is because of the expansion is not in terms of the size, but in terms of the more neural connections. Okay, it is a biological term. Okay, more neural connections. When you are exposed to different kind of situations, when you learn more, when you play different kind of games, even you when you play badminton or football, or even if you learn to play different instruments, so that helps you to make more neurons. Okay, more neuronal connections. So these neuronal connections help you to understand the even there is more cognitive backup in terms of the because of these neural connections. So that is why there is a disease called Alzheimer's. So when you have more neuronal connections, so you have more cognitive backup, and if you are, yes, not only in studies, but also in other activities also. So rightly said. So when you have more exposure, when you travel a lot, when you study a lot, when you do different kind of activities, more neuronal connections are, even when you learn a different language also. So if you learn Tamil, Sanskrit, or even uh, Kashmiri, or even the Manipuri, or any language, or Bengali, whatever language you learn. So there is a probability that you will have more neural connections. So that will help you to have more uh, cognitive backup, and that basically helps you in old days to uh, uh, because of, in the old days there is a very common problem of Alzheimer's, and the people who have more years of education, there is a less probability of having Alzheimer's. So in that way, that is one reason of being different. So neurodiversity is also there, and because why? Because we have different experiences in our life because of our life experience. So that exposure helps you to have more neurodiversity, and this is also one of the reasons. Okay, so let us move further. Another reason behind this is like even United Nations also recognize that there are over 30 characteristics that represent diversity. So in reality, there are many more, but they have listed them. So like even some can be visible, which are, and some are not visible. So still others are immutable parts of who we are, or from different societies we are. So many times it changes. Like if you move to a different culture, and you learn a different culture, like through a process of called acculturation. When you learn your own culture, it is called inculturation. When you learn a different culture, it is called acculturation. Even different strategies are there when you go through acculturation process. So that also changes. It changes many times over the course of our lives. So in that way, broadly speaking, we can say that there are four types of diversity. It can be internal diversity, diversity within the person. So many times changes takes place inside us. So that makes us diverse. Even diversity can be outside. So even external world also keeps on changing. So the organizations where we work, if you observe over the years, there are many changes which have taken place in our organization, and the world view which we had 10, 20 years back, that is also different at present. So diversity is also one of the issues. Uh, 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 Different kind of diversity we have. Now, what makes diversity important, and what makes diversity a asset? Important that can be asset, and what makes a diversity is a liability. Many times you have see that is a liability, and many times you can say that it is a asset. Then diversity is beneficial at many levels, like even beyond the moral imperative, there is a sense of fairness when you are doing any interaction with people from different background. So you need to be fair, and that is related to the moral principles which we are guided by. So a sense of fairness with there, which when you are people with the different, working with the people of different uh, socio-cultural backgrounds. Even the business case of investing in diversity is also clear by, so even in Western universities, there are cells called equal opportunity ऑफिस, वहाँ उनके पास एक इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफिस भी होता है. इवन in businesses also you have seen that diversity helps. So how this diversity helps, let me clarify this. So even if you have understanding of diversity, you can sell different products to different uh, uh, countries. Okay, so how? Because uh, if you want to sell even any product which is a Western product in India, you have to even adapt that product in India. So otherwise you will not be you will not get buyers. आपको buyers नहीं मिलेंगे. क्यों? So the pizza which is being sold in Italy cannot be sold in Varanasi or in Aizawl or uh, in different places in India, because people in India like spices, and that is why when you go to any pizza shop, there is uh, possibility that you will get spices, but in Italy that is different. So understanding of cultures helps you to adapt your business according to the cultures. Even if you start selling a very uh, even clothes in southern India, so that it also not work. Even within the classrooms, you can see there is a diversity in terms of the socio-cultural backgrounds, diversity in terms of uh, skin color, diversity in terms of the religion and diversity. Even within the class, you can see. So even you need to manage, because uh, by respecting people from coming from different backgrounds, by being fair to each and everyone as a teacher. So in that way, uh, even there are certain studies which have shown that there are groups of people that are diverse in gender, race, and age. They perform better if the people from different backgrounds, they are studying together, they are working together, they perform better. Even many studies which were conducted by different people in management and in organization research, they have found that uh, people from different cultures, if they come together and if they work together, they perform better and they make better decisions, and they also make experience more profitability at the individual as well as organizational levels. So now I have one question to you people. Why uh, why there is a probability that people perform better when they are from different backgrounds? You can write in the chat box. Why such probability is there? Why people perform better when they are working with the people from different backgrounds? I can give you clue. People from different backgrounds, they come with different ideas, and those ideas can help them to resolve conflict, to make better decisions. What else? Any idea why people from different cultural backgrounds perform better? Okay, different perceptions on the same concept. Very good. Very good. Even same concepts they have, even better cognitive abilities are there. Thank you, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, Dr. Shabnam. So different cognitive abilities are there, different perceptions are there, even same concept is being perceived. And why being perceived differently? Because of their different cultural backgrounds. The spectacles which they are having is different, and because of that, they are able to see differently. Different cognitive capacity also good. Yes, they would good. get more exposure to other cultures and deal with the diverse knowledge in a better way. Yes, right. Priyanka has rightly said that they will get more exposure, and because of that, they have such ability. Good. So you can see there are many reasons due to which. Another reason is when you work with the people of uh, different cultures, usually you try to uh, perform better, you do more effort. So because you are in a competition mode, okay, you want to perform better as compared to in comparison to the people of other cultures. आप उनसे बेहतर करना चाहते हैं, and because of that you put more efforts, and because of that effort, even each of them may perform better when that kind of competitive situation is not there. So even the diversity creates a situation of competition when they perform with each other. So sometimes uh, it becomes a challenge also. The diversity becomes a challenge, and that is why we need to manage diversity. So sometimes people with different cultural identities fail to understand each other. So that is the reason why I put emotional intelligence here to deal with such situations. So sometimes people with the different cultural identities, they fail to understand each other, and this misunderstanding can lead to fear, and fear can cause prejudice. Okay, you when you are prejudiced, you have intolerance towards the people of different cultures. Even many a times you mistreat person because of their race, because of their religion, because of their sexual orientations, because of the disability, and because of the political beliefs. Even this is disability was one of the issues which became a case in our university. So there are two cases, and one was related to disability of organ, and another was related to disability because of the socio-cultural backgrounds. And the disability, which was because of the physical disability, uh, in one night around 11 p.m., I got a call from one of my students who was part 3 student. And he said, "Sir, I don't feel I have any reason to live more. So I feel like not living more in this world." Then I said, "Why you feel like that?" Because people in my hostel, people in my class, they uh, say that I'm worthless, okay, because of my disability. Then I just tried to counsel him and said, you will not do anything. I will just remain calm." And I asked him to remain calm, and then asked him to come next day in my office. Then I talked to him uh, uh, 1.5 hours around. Then I explained that you are uh, most courageous, most even the strongest boy in the class, because even by not having your both limbs, both legs, you are able to climb to the third story without this building without any lift. So I think you are the strongest boy in the class. Even your parents love you because of that they have sent you to study here. So even and that made him strong. And presently, that boy is working with Delhi government as a counselor. See, the boy who was going to commit suicide, and when he was counseled, now he is in a better position, and he is working in a government institutions. Another case was from the Faculty of Visual Arts from my university, when one of the students uh, Even there was a case like he was not allowed to attend the examinations because he had a low attendance in the class. And even at that time, I was a proctor in the university proctorial board, and I was given responsibility because I was from the psychology background, and I was given that responsibility. So I tried to know why he could not attend classes. So you will not believe that he was going through many uh, hard times. His father was suffering from cancer, and even his father died of cancer, and because of that reason, uh, one of the PTSD disorder, his brother was that, even he was suffering from it, and because of taking care of them, he could not attend classes. So, and he was from a disadvantaged group, and even some of people provoked him, not because of this, because you are from a disadvantaged group, and that is why you are not being allowed to appear in the examination. But the real reason was that he was from uh, he were not able to attend classes, and because of that, he was not given opportunity to write the exams. So in that case, also we had to intervene from the proctorial board, and we asked Vice Chancellor for special permission. Vice Chancellor gave special permission to him to write the examinations. And presently, and after that incident, I forgot that incident. And one day, the head of the department of that uh, department called कि sir, आपने जिसकी counseling की थी, the boy who was counseled by you is now working as a lecturer in one of the schools. See, in Kendriya Vidyalaya. So you can see such kind of diverse situations even make people prejudiced, and because of that, problems are created. That is why understanding of people who are going through hard times is also very much important in that terms. And even that creates a problem, like you are from a disadvantaged group, and because of that, you are being ill-treated. Even many times we develop some stereotypes, and because of those stereotypes, we make unfair assumptions, and we many times we generalize that people from different cultural identity, they will behave in a particular way because they are from that particular cultural background. So that is again one of the issues which need to be understood. When you have the ability to understand others, then only you will not have these stereotypical behaviors. Even sectarianism is also one of the reason, like many people treat persons unfairly because of their religion. Racism is one of the issues, like when they mistreat someone based on their race and ethnicity. And even there is a homophobia, like you have a fear, you dislike someone because of their sexual orientation. So these are the different factors which make or which convince us that we need to manage diversity. And in that way, it has been observed that people with the ability, or people with the more emotional intelligence, they are able to handle these situations very properly, and such kind of prejudices, stereotypes, and all those factors are minimized. And even many studies have uh, found this. Even these challenges can lead in a conflict in a community where we are. Even I was the second case which I was talking about, that became a case of two groups because of the disadvantaged group boy. So these challenges can lead to conflict in a community, and even if they are not properly addressed. So if that those events were not properly addressed, that can also lead to conflict. Even there was a conflict that we had to manage. So if people from different countries do not or cannot integrate with one another, they may feel excluded and isolated. Nowadays, because of this issue, uh, we have one center, I think, in most of the universities, a center for study of social social exclusion and inclusive policy. So that is one center where such kind of studies are being conducted and being this concept is being studied. Even many times it has been found that discrimination is there because of the people's different ethnic backgrounds. Because of their ethnic backgrounds, discrimination is there. And what is this discrimination? Discrimination is an action that denies a person their rights because of their cultural identity. Many times discrimination. In this, discrimination can be based on the gender. This discrimination can be based on the caste. This discrimination can be based on the ethnicity. This discrimination can be based on the religion. So many reasons. Even one of the common examples can be like a person who is otherwise qualified. He is having qualification and for a job, but is not employed or not given job because of their religion or because of their race. So this is called discrimination many times because of this. And that is the reason why nowadays we have a policy of equal opportunity. So we need to give equal opportunity to each and every uh, person who is having the ability or who is having the qualification to perform a particular job. So that is why. So there are certain challenges when we live in a diverse society. So now comes emotional intelligence. Why, how this emotional intelligence can help us to manage when we are studying with the people of different backgrounds, when we are working with the people of different backgrounds, and many times when we work in a culture which is different from our native culture. So again, we need to use emotional intelligence to manage diversity or to deal with the situation of diversity wherever we are. So being a teacher, many times we need to be emotionally intelligent. Being a student, we need to be emotionally intelligent. And even being a member of a community or even cosmopolitan society, we have to be very uh, emotional intelligence to deal with such kind of problems when at the work or even in our social lives as well. So let us go through, as many of you have said, rightly said, that emotional intelligence is the ability to understand emotions, ability to use emotions, ability to use our manage our own emotions in a positive way, so that we are able to relieve a stress which is inside us. We are able to communicate with the people who are coming from different socio-cultural backgrounds. Even we have an ability to empathize with others, people from different suffering from different problems and coming from different backgrounds. Even uh, if we are emotionally intelligent, we can overcome the challenges and diffuse the conflict, and even the conflict due to diverse cultures or people from different coming from different socio-cultural backgrounds. So emotional intelligence help us to deal with this. So we understand our own emotions, we manage our or regulate our own emotions, and at the same time, this helps us to relations with the people of different backgrounds. So you need to be emotionally intelligent. So there are five dimensions of emotional intelligence, that is the self-awareness, empathy, motivation, self-regulation, and social skills. So self-awareness, being aware about our own emotions. Empathy means we are able to empathize with people from different backgrounds. It means we are able to see their problems as our own problems. So that is empathy. Then motivation, people with the extrinsic as well as intrinsic motivation have a different kind of uh, ways to interact with the people. Then we also have the ability to regulate our self or regulation of our emotions. So even if we are working or interacting with the people of different cultures, we need to regulate our emotions by understanding their backgrounds. And one of them is like social skills. When you are communicating with the people of different backgrounds, racial backgrounds, or religious backgrounds, again, you need to have a ability to uh, interact effectively or communicate effectively with the people of different cultures. Okay. So first one is self-awareness. First of them is self-awareness. So many a times this ability help us to okay. So self-awareness is your ability to perceive and understand the things that make you who you are as an individual, which includes your personality, your actions, your values. Values means the ethical values we're talking about, what you see as right or wrong. Then many times we develop certain beliefs about certain ourselves and emotions. So essentially, it is a psychological state in which the self becomes the focus of attention. So how you perceive yourself, how you perceive your emotions, and how you manage your emotions is very much important. That is the self-awareness. So you need to be aware about yourself, your emotions. So even when you understand yourself, how you are being affected by the presence or absence of others, that is also one of the reasons. Then comes the empathy. When you can see in the brains of these two people, even one person is able to see another person in the terms like he is like him or her. So what is empathy? Empathy is ability to emotionally understand what others feel, see things from their point of view, and imagine yourself in their place. So when you imagine yourself in their place, certainly you'll be able to understand the problems of that. So essentially, it is putting yourself in someone else's position and feeling what they are feeling. So this is again one of the very important uh, abilities which helps you to understand people from different backgrounds. So this is even in our Hindi literature is also there. Like Tulsidas also says that like in even in a Bhojpuri uh, way he says that like जाके पैर न फटी बिवाई सो क्या जाने पीर पर आई. So you have not, if you have not gone through the hard times, so you will not be able to understand the people who are going through the hard times. Even there is there is a fun made by people, like one of the politicians who was talking about the farmers' problem. So once he said that people said that there is a lack of sugar in our country, there is deficit of sugar, people are not getting sugar. So, okay, if there is deficit in terms of why don't you sow sugar? यदि आपके sugar की कमी है तो क्यों नहीं आप sugar बोते हैं? So you need to understand that sugar is made of something. ठीक है? So even you can find your even if you are not rooted enough, so you can find your people like if you say that like जैसे अब होता है ना कि जो बच्चे क्या बोलते हैं दूध कौन देता है कि दूध वाला देता है. Such kind of things are there because they are not taught, even they are not aware that how things are, things we get. So even as a parent, as a teacher, we also need to understand the reasons behind our students and children's behavior. Certainly, it is helpful. So empathy is also one of the reasons which we need to understand, which helps us to manage diversity or the diverse situations, to understand the problems of the people who are coming from different backgrounds. That helps. Even the way we are motivated by, and this picture you can see the people who have high emotional intelligence and the people who are on low emotional intelligence. So people uh, who are having high emotional intelligence, they usually feel respected and competent. So they are, so in that way, they, when you feel respected and motivated, certainly your level of motivation would be high. And on the other hand, if you have a low emotional intelligence, you will usually feel inadequate and defensive. Again, so for to be motivated, you need to feel respected and competent. That only comes with the help of emotional intelligence. So and they're also motivated by personal meaning. So the meaning you have in your life that it motivates you, that is your self-worth. So the people who are, so there are usually two types of motivation: intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. So if I ask the participants, what do you understand by intrinsic motivation and what do you understand by extrinsic motivation? Any idea regarding the intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation? Or even with about motivation, any things which uh, helps us to put more effort to, and which energizes ourselves to do things like, yes, Shabnam is right, that intrinsic what comes from within and extrinsic what comes from outside. So uh, if anything which motivates you and which you uh, external factors. So extrinsic motivation is to be motivated from outside. So if you're motivated by rewards which you receive as an outcome, that is again the external extrinsic motivation. So if you are motivated by rewards, I think you are on low or emotional intelligence. If you are motivated by personal meaning, means even if the work itself is a motivator, okay, if you like or if you love your job, you will be motivated. So that is a kind of high emotional intelligence. So if you are motivated by rewards, means there is low emotional intelligence usually. So even it has been proven by different studies, like the people who are motivated, they are highly adaptable. They can adapt themselves, particularly when it comes to change. Whenever, so this change can be change in your cultural setting also. When you are going to work in a different cultural setting, so you can adapt yourself when you have a high emotional intelligence. Even they have a positive attitudes at work wherever they are working. They can, even they help to spread organizations good reputation. Organization includes all, even the educational organizations as well. Good reputation, improve the performance. Even if you are working in a company where profit is the motive, so if you are motivated, certainly you will help the organization. So they also work hard to achieve their goals, whatever they are. So maybe research may be your goal, even teaching well in the class may be your goal. So that is one. So even so, they work with a greater sense of urgency than one response is like extrinsic comes from within, and okay, good. Okay. So, it needs to, they also work hard to achieve their goals and work with the greater sense of urgency than unmotivated people, especially the people who have. Then, keeping all this in mind, it becomes clear that employers are equally responsible for their team members' motivational level through working environment they create. Even many times, the work environment or the work culture in which you work is also motivates you, especially if the organization tries to get diversity or the diverse workplace. Certainly, people will also. So many times organizations have a policy that they will employ people from different cultural backgrounds. Even many educational institutions have a policy that they will get students from different cultural backgrounds. So again, it helps the people from different cultural backgrounds to work in the diverse cultures. Then comes the self-regulation. Even there is a concept of emotion regulation. So, are you able to regulate your emotions properly or not? So, many times we need to be aggressive. Many times we need to be guilty. Many times we need to be happy. So, as per the circumstances, if you are able to manage our emotions, many times if you are working in a service industry, you need to smile, even then you don't feel bad, feel good. So in that case, you are regulating your emotions, and that particular concept is known as emotional labor. You have to put more emotional labor when you are in a service industry. And even in the class also, many times your mood may not be good, but even in the class you smile. So you are regulating your emotions. So emotional intelligence is basically, even the concept of self-regulation is the ability to control or direct the disruptive impulses which we usually, for example, you are aggressive and you direct your emotion towards putting more efforts in doing the task. So the moods, and many times there is a propensity to suspend judgments and think before acting. So when you are in a disturbed mood, when you are in an aggressive mood, usually people should suspend making any judgment or any decisions. So before doing any actions, we need to think a lot. So that is again a part of. So when we are in a diverse work situation, that we also need to work. Even depressed people needs extrinsic motivation. Is it true? Is there any relation between depression and low EQ? Maybe I have not conducted a study, but you can find some researches. So depressed people needs extrinsic motivation. That is true. I think in my personal view. So that may be my personal view also, because uh, that can be explained in terms of the social support they get. Okay, the support from if people who are depressed, and if they get support from extrinsic forces like the friends, like the family members, and what they do, but they basically tell about their self-worth. So you are good enough to resolve your problems. There are different ways with the help of you. So they are basically supporting emotionally, and that emotional support energizes people who are depressed. Okay, I can cite one of the cases which we had with one of our professors who is in our university, uh, from one of the faculties, and he is on our group, and we have a morning walkers club in our university, and there are some members, and we used to walk every morning after doing yoga uh, through online mode. So during online mode, we had to do this. So after this morning session, we go for a morning walk. And during COVID period, he was very disturbed, and he was even taking antidepressants. And one fine morning when we were walking with him, he even just burst and started crying. And he took us to a field and said, I want to share something with regarding my life. So he said that I'm going through many problems. My son is not studying properly. I have uh, taken a loan that was a kind of bad loan. So bad loan is a kind of, if you take from some private banks, usually when you pay back early, you have to uh, uh, pay a penalty. क्या यूजुअली ये होता है कि आप यदि किसी प्राइवेट बैंक से लोन लेते हैं तो उनकी एक पॉलिसी होती है जो कि यूजुअली जो एजेंट्स नहीं बताते हैं एजेंट्स डोंट टेल दैट देयर इज अ प्री पेमेंट पेनल्टी so even he was very disturbed because of that because bank people were not allowing him to pay early because so many problems were there then we discussed with him then we resolved the issues like we helped him to pay his dues which he had taken by. So even we helped him to understand that whatever you do, your son or daughter, just you help them to study, and what is the outcome that is not in your control. ठीक है आपका जो आउटकम है वो आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है so you need to understand what your son or daughter does so you don't have a more control on that. What you can do is that you can give values, you can give them opportunities, and whatever you do, that is their responsibility, not yours. Okay, even then, if he is not doing good, so even we had to counsel his son also. Okay, so many a times when you are in a disturbed mood, it happens. So even counseling is external thing, even social support is external thing, but it helps people to feel energized, to feel his or her self-worth. So in that way, it helps. So it can be said it is extrinsic, but it helps the person to come out of that depressive periods. Again, this is so self-regulation is again one of the very important thing which we need to use in day-to-day basis to manage our emotions at the moment that an event occurs. It let us to take thoughtful actions. So when we are able to regulate, even many times when you talk to your colleagues, when you work with your subordinates and they're not doing their work properly, so you feel aggressive. So even you don't outburst them, you use different means to deal with such issues. So certainly it works. It helps to manage the situation. And next is I think that's the last one. Why it is not moving? Okay. So next is social skill. Social skill is very important now in nowadays, especially in the present criteria, present world. So social skills basically refers to the skills needed to handle, influence, and other people's emotions effectively. And social skills are also properly manage one's and other emotions, especially when you are connecting, you are interacting with the people. So ultimately, it helps you to communicate with others properly. It also helps you to resolve the conflicts in the situations. It also helps you to build a team with the help of which you are able to complete the different tasks. Even in the research also, many times we have a team within the department. Many times we have teams between the departments and even between with the universities we have. So we need to build teams. So team building skill is also important. And especially when the people are from different backgrounds, as we said, that we can have a better team. And basic integration or basic interaction is very much important when you track. So interpersonal communication or interpersonal interaction is also one of the very important skills which we need to have. So when we summarize this concept of emotional intelligence, you can see uh, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. So stage 1 is self-awareness. So you need to be mindful, and you because of this mindfulness you feel empowered. So self-awareness, usually you filter the different emotions. It gives you the consciousness of abilities so that you can choose different emotions, different beliefs. Even you can choose behaviors which can be helpful to you, which can be, and you will not choose, even you filter the behaviors which is not right, even actions which are not right for. So self-awareness is also one of the factor. Then self-management, even uh, event plus response is the outcome. So if someone is abusing you and you are responding, and you are not you are ignoring, so outcome will certainly be not in the terms of the fight. So at that time you are managing yourself. So many times we change our beliefs and behaviors as per the cultural surroundings. You choose emotions as per the cultural backgrounds where you are, even you decide and act as per the as per the situation requires. So that is, you are managing yourself. Then when it comes to social awareness, the social skill, like you intent and impact. What is your intention? What is the impact of that intent? That you are aware of that. So if you speak in a particular way, what will be the outcome? If your outlook will be like this, what will the outcome? You need to understand it. Then many times you shift your perception differently. So understanding others is also one of the, because लोग कहते हैं ना कि मुझे लोगों की पहचान है. So you have the ability to identify others on the basis of their behavior. So that is their actions. So that is your ability to be socially aware. And even wherever you're working, be it the community or wherever you are, the community where you live, the organization you work. So you need to understand the concept of the organization where you work, the organization you work, and the community in which you interact. So that is one. Then the last one is the relationship management. The way you are able to influence people, the way you are able to manage the conflicts, and your ability to collaborate and cooperate with others. So many times this competition doesn't work, and you need to collaborate. And this collaboration and cooperation ultimately helps. So there is a story regarding this collaboration. When you collaborate, your performance is better. You would have thought of a story when you would have rapped, slow and steady wins the race. Okay. Usually, it is said that the tortoise was slow, but he was steady, and because of that, he could win the race. And even the rabbit was fast, even he lost the uh, race. But the people from management, they have extended this story even. So the rabbit realized his fault, and next time he said that this time will run again. So he ran again, and this time he didn't slept, and he uh, win the race. So next time, tortoise asked that, okay, let us run again. Let us have a race again, and we'll. Uh, the choice of path will be mine. So the choice of path will be tortoise, and then they ran again, and rabbit ran fast, and once he reached on the bank of river, he could not run because there was water. Then tortoise came steadily. Then he went on the water and he could flow, and again he reached the next. So there was his ability, there was his positive point in that, and he could run. Next time they go for collaboration. So when they were running on land, the tortoise sat on the back of the rabbit, and when the river bank came, the tortoise sat, the rabbit sat on the back of tortoise. So in that way, both of them could win the race. So this is basically the case where when we collaborate with the people from different cultures, when we collaborate with the people from different backgrounds, certainly we have an inclusive work culture, we have an inclusive society where we can help each other and live a happy life with each other. Certainly, it helps to deal with such kind of situations. So with this, I would like to thank you all for your patient listening. And if there are certain questions I can take, and then we'll close the session at 1 p.m. So thank you very much. You can write your questions in the chat box. So that's all from my side. If you write your questions, I will be happy to respond to your questions. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patient listening. So I'm going to stop the sharing so that we can have certain questions and we can discuss.
Yeah, sir, one Shreya Mukhopadhyay, she is asking, depressed people need to extend extrinsic motivation. Is it true? In chat box, she is.
Depressed people needs extrinsic motivation. Is it true? Is there any relation between depression and EQ? I can say yes. How? थोड़ा सा हिंदी में बात करेंगे. एक मेरा दोस्त था, and he was very practical, and he used to say few lines, and which is very practical for people who depressed, and even many times they attempt suicides. तो क्या कहता था कि, I will translate in English also. So क्या कहता था कि स्पेशली इन द केस ऑफ इस तरह के रिलेशनशिप में जब आप फेल होते हैं या किसी एग्जामिनेशन में फेल होते हैं, तो उसके बारे में वो कहता था. तो ही सेज कि लाइक, है तू बेवफा, है तू बेवफा तो मेरा भी यही तौर सही, तू नहीं कोई और सही, कोई और नहीं कोई और सही, कोई और नहीं कोई और सही. So if you are not, if you're not able to, if I'm not able to get you, ठीक है, or you are not convinced with my proposal, or if you are not able to qualify in examination, ठीक है, examination को उसने बेवफा कहा, it is okay, but I will try again. I will try for a different examination. I will try for a different person, that may be. So in that case, possibility of getting depressed is less because you have changed your goal and again you are trying again. So in that case, the possibility of getting depressed is minimized. Okay. So now let us come to the question. So depressed people needs extrinsic motivation. Certainly they need, because when you support with the help of your counseling, with the help of your support which you give to that person, certainly it helps him, because if you say a few good words to them, few good lines about them, they feel motivated. Okay, that may be from the extrinsic motivation. Even praise is also one of the things which we can say that it is coming from outside, but it is for the person. So Shabnam is saying that I usually tend to get emotional in the workplace too, especially if I feel I'm getting discriminated. Now, how I do deal with it? See, this is one of the problems. So because of that, I chose this topic. This is one of the problems which I. So discrimination is one of the issues which will be there, but you need to manage it. Okay. So if you are getting discriminated because of your gender, because of your background, so it is a natural process. Discrimination is natural process because, and you need to think that, okay, discrimination is there, but there are certain laws also. There are certain laws. So it is, if it is in the form of harassment, if it in the form of uh, uh, denying the opportunity, many times it happens. It is natural also. So you need to understand the society we live is diversity and is diverse, and we also need to understand that people from different backgrounds, they have different choices. So many times when you get tense, I think the information which I have shared, if you understand it properly, certainly it will help you to, and try to use certain uh, methods which we usually use. Like many times we need to ignore the people who make discrimination. We ignore the people who are negative. Try to spend less time to with those people. The people who are positive, uh, try to have try to spend more time to those people. Certainly, this feeling of discrimination is will uh, not affect you more. So it is natural. Many times we also face such situations, but by ignoring them, by when many times if certain rules are being uh, uh, broke by some people, then there are certain legal rules also. Then we need to. So usually we need to think, especially when we are at the lower level of the hierarchy. So better is to ignore. Okay, but if there is you are not getting opportunity because of that discrimination, certainly you need to uh, blow a whistle, because certainly your future may be also affected because of that. So now we can thank you. Thank you.
So, thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable time and sharing your rich experience. Even it is in webinar mode, but even then you make it very interactive by the message and all. So on the behalf of the HRDC Mizoram Ministry, I would like to offer my sincere thanks to you, sir. And my office will contact you, sir, for the official procedures. They will call you and collect some information. With this, thank you so much, sir. You may leave now because you have some another urgent meeting. And because of this class, you
Thank you, sir.
postponed yesterday, you told me. So I will not take much of your time because I already won. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.